Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of those things help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting our community a little bit further, consider becoming a member here on our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a month, and you gain access to some really cool emotes. Lastly, if you are interested in joining any of our games, we do have open slots available. We have 2 open slots in the Tuesday early game. We have 1 open slot in the Tuesday evening game, and we have an open slot in the Saturday early game. So, if you're interested in any of them, be sure to reach out. Let me know. We'd be more than happy to have you sit down and join in on all of the action and fun. But without further ado, go ahead and give us that sweet recap. Lucian, unless you're making Kaz do it.
No. All right. As I recall, the session began. We had just the previous session had ended. We were starting to confront Solara and the 3 remaining Voidweavers after dealing with, or somewhat, Erison in the center of the Shadow Nexus. And our conversation wasn't really going very well, and the session ended when Bulkhead attempted to cast Dispel Magic to stop the possible charm effect on the other 2 wizards and maybe shift the balance. That effort did not go well. The magic was too high. The roll was not terrible, but you needed to get really high to possibly break any crazy influence. So that kind of kicked off the fight. We were getting into it. Solara put up a wall of force, which was a bit of a problem, and Kaylee was on our side, the Hemomancer. She was ready to try to fight us hand to hand while the other 2 wizards were on the other side of the wall of force, I guess, waiting to see what happened. It wasn't too bad. Like, we were getting ready to get into it, and then Liara, who had her body had died in the fight with Erison, was in the soul jar, and she attempted to possess the other wizard and was actually successful. So then all of a sudden, their person on the other side of the wall of force that was going to fight us became Liara. Casimir didn't really know that. He kind of shoved her face against the wall of force a couple times, as I recall, trying to intimidate her lover, who was on the other side. Solara kind of saw where that was going, where the balance was heavily changed with that maneuver, and she teleported away, leaving her ally behind. We got past the wall of force, sort of had a conversation, tried to break any charm, but it seems like let me see, what was his name? Xander. So we were trying to break Xander's charm. Apparently he wasn't charmed, he was just really believes it. So
Brainwashed.
yeah, we kind of had to leave it where it was. I think we took him with us as a prisoner. We left. I don't recall what. I think we handed him over to the authorities before we left.
Did you know?
I don't recall exactly what we did with him. It escapes me.
I
do remember.
believe you incarcerated him in the brig. Or
Okay.
at least that's what I wrote down. If you guys want to change your mind, feel free.
I thought we handed him over to Lucifer.
I don't recall what we did.
Oh, that's a much worse fate. Okay.
But yeah, so Lucian happened to catch a little bit of a glimpse of where Solara went, like the portal, and with interrogating Xander, we figured out that there were kind of derelict churches on different planets that had kind of fallen to underground cultist activity. And so we got more information and went to Irene on the ship to find where the quote-unquote child, Melissa, was. We arrived, and she had already been saved by an individual from that church who was not part of this underground cult, and he's very observant. He noticed that they were starting to act weird and there was something going on, and he investigated and found this child, and so he dealt with the cultist himself. And upon our arrival, we made our introductions and sort of got on the same page that, all right, yeah, I think we need to treat this individual as at least an ally at this point, because he selflessly helped our cause. I don't recall what the last thing we did in the session was, though, but that was the basics.
Well-
We were about to interrogate a room full of cultists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you only killed one, and the rest of them were sort of knocked out.
Yep.
All
So,
right.
who's going to be in the front when you open up the door?
I guess it'd be me since it's me opening the door and casting Zone of Truth.
I'll be right behind him.
Okay. As you reach for the handle, Vinder, you do hear the unsheathing of a knife from one of them inside the room.
You can put that away. It's pointless.
All of you are completely unaware of what he's talking about.
What happened?
Somebody's pulling a knife out.
Ooh, they want to have fun, huh?
Really?
Intimidation, bulkhead. With advantage.
Just suddenly seeing a talking robot. I said
Chooses
advantage.
violence.
Where is it? There it is. 19.
Okay. When you open the door, none of them are holding a blade, but all of them are kept close to the walls. You see 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 total cultists. Backs up against the wall, all of which have very hefty bludgeon marks on their heads or shoulders, glaring in your direction. Interestingly enough, the robes that they're adorned in are religiously significant, obviously, but they're also incredibly similar to Vindir's. Whereas theirs are more ceremonial, his are more practical.
Well, y'all ask your questions. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Zone of Truth now.
How many did you say that there were total? 12? 13?
Joey, I don't remember. I
There
think
was
it was
12, you killed one.
Yeah.
Okay, so 11.
Yeah.
Okay, for some reason I thought it was 13, he killed one, so there was one unaccounted for. But nope,
No, 12, he killed one.
okay.
Yeah. All right. Zone of Truth,
Yes.
Wisdom save or Charisma?
Charisma.
Okay, they all have a +2 to this.
So only one
So-
succeeded.
19 also succeeds?
Oh yeah, 19 does too. Yeah.
So 2 of them succeeded. But you know which 2 they are.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and point out the 2. These 2 are useless. They're gonna lie.
Do you know who might be the most senior member in your church? Or I don't know if that will translate over to this, whatever it is, but it might. Just the air of authority.
Do I have a sense of who might be just based on robes or looks?
Yeah,
might
the
be
guy
in
you ended up
charge.
killing.
Oh, damn it.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's the one who tried stabbing you.
He tried to.
Well,
stab
drag him
me
into the
while I
zone
was
of
with
truth, and I can do speak with that on him.
You hit him in the head with your hammer, right, Vindir?
him. Yeah.
There's no
yeah.
face remaining.
Yeah.
Just
Not
needs a
with your
jaw.
strength.
and mace plus face equals. I don't know. I don't know what
Mush.
rhymes. Yeah.
Face
Paste.
plus face equals yeah, exactly. Paste.
There's nothing. No jaw. That's
Okay.
intact. Unfortunately. My anger got a hold of me.
All right.
Unfortunately.
So, we could do this the easy way or the hard way. You could tell us the location of every stronghold that you cultists have on this world, or we can beat it out of you. Who wants to begin?
You see questioning eyes across the room. Question, do any of you have expertise in insight? Not just proficiency.
No, my expertise is investigation.
Mine's perception.
Negatory. I don't even have proficiency.
Okay, does anybody have proficiency in insight?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll. And for anybody who's reading chat, one of the players can't be in the Zoom call, so I'm just entertaining them a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
12. Okay,
Wow.
let me roll a deception. Ooh, they beat you.
Oh, I would assume so.
They all
Fl-
seem-
a flash of genius, so it's a 17 instead of a 12.
Tiebreakers go in favor of the aggressor. So, looking at them, Vindir, there's 2 of them in this room currently who look like they don't want to speak out against everybody else, but they look very susceptible to ratting on everybody, just not in front of everybody.
Okay. Since nobody will talk, I'll grab the 2 that look like they might rat. Then we'll take these 2 and kill them. And I'll grab them by the backs of their shirts and drug them out.
They cannot possibly overpower you.
Then I'll close the door
Mm-hmm.
and then put them. I don't know. There's only one room, so we'll put them as far away from their friends as possible.
So into the main chapel.
Yeah.
Okay. You
Here's
place
a
them
question.
down in a couple of pews.
Here's the question: what do we do with the rest of these idiots?
Well, let's
I
find out
mean,
what
I'm
we
kind
need
of
first.
hungry.
I think we know what's going to happen to the rest of these idiots
I
if
mean,
they don't start talking.
we do have an abomination on my ship that needs to eat.
Don't kill them. Just
Oh goodness.
what's the point of killing them?
They were
They're-
gonna kill a child.
Yes, primarily that. Also, they're-
Ritually sacrifice so it destroys my soul permanently, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, corrected.
Yeah.
Ritually sacrifice Melissa and destroy her immortal soul.
You kill them, you lose all possible information we could possibly get from them.
Well,
Not if we don't hit him in the face.
If you feed them to an abomination, I think they're going to die.
yeah, you understand that magic allows us to speak with the dead after they are dead, correct?
And you only get 5 questions.
Per
Sure. But there are 9 of them here.
That's 45
9 times
questions.
5 is 40 questions.
45 questions.
45 questions, thank you.
Where'd you learn how to do math?
And why did you even bother putting them in there? Why did you just kill them on the spot? And go with your plan?
Well, he's
Um,
not killing them.
Yeah.
I'm saying if that's what your plan is, now then why even bother with this charade?
Because you might get. If they give us all the information we need, then we don't need them. But if they don't give us all the information we
Yeah.
need, we still need them.
I just want to clarify. So, the 2 that left the room are the ones that look like they were gonna squeal, right?
Yes.
So why are we trying to? I'm gonna go out into the other room with Vinder.
All right. You see the 2 of them sat down on the pews, and they're actively looking for ways to escape with very little hope in their eyes.
Look, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is not going to end well for most of you, probably. We're some strong individuals, and you all got taken out by one guy. And if you have anything to say, or if your mind has been changed from whatever screwed up plan you guys thought you had, now's the time.
Roll intimidation, Lucian.
I will use my recap advantage. Jeez. All
19.
right, that's better.
We're the only outpost on Irene that I'm aware of. Bishop Colin gestures up at the podium where there's no more evidence. He was the last, well, off-worlder brought here. He showed us
Okay.
the truth of the universe.
Oh, the truth, yes. Mm-hmm.
He told us of the suffering on the outer worlds. How there's famine and poverty and death aplenty.
Yes, I've heard this song of caring about the people before from other cultists, and I didn't buy it then, and I don't buy it now.
So there is
Whatever
none
you're
of those
trying-
things on the other worlds.
No, there's suffering, but Axiom isn't going to stop it. Or even lessen it. I don't think that Exium being released into the world will do anything except kill everyone. Believe me, I've dealt with deities before, and they are indifferent, but they're not malicious. Exium is malicious. Like its entire essence is destruction. I don't see it doing any creation. Even if it wipes the whole slate clean, it will wring its hands into the void and just be useless.
I don't know what you are speaking of. Exium is rebirth. Fortuitousness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You really think that, don't you? Poor simple idiot.
They are zoned of truth.
I guess I'm zone of truth too, because I'm really laying it out and talking shit.
Or you're really tired. Like, you know.
So, bottom line is you guys are just a little cult, and you don't really know anything.
I don't know what you expect us to know.
Well, something. I mean, we dealt with some high level wizards who had started their own little cult thing, looking for stuff, and I wouldn't say we've dealt with them, but we definitely dealt them a serious blow, and they have been flushed out of their hiding. They're known to the authorities and on the run. That's kind of why we came here. They kidnapped this child and were threatening its eradication to try to stop us from doing what we did. But we were confident that we would be able to get around any
Wait.
yes.
You mean the child of destruction?
I mean, she's not really the child of destruction. She's definitely an odd duck, but she's not cosmically significant, I would say.
I mean, technically, she's not a child either. At least that's what she told me.
We were told to keep her safeguarded from others that would come and to harm her.
Yeah, that's what they told you, because that's what they thought you needed to hear. That's how cults work. It's not about the truth, it's about the story. Do you have any way of well, you said you're the only people you know about, but did the bishop have chambers? Did he keep letters or anything that you know of?
He has chambers. They're down that hall over there. The records he would keep were between him and, well, the Void Speaker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was always talking about something called the circumstance? maybe it had a different name. He kept calling it the circumstance. Like an honorific.
All right, that's not too bad. So given all that has occurred over the last 24 hours, are you guys still true believers? Do you really think that what you've been told is not the best version of whatever it is that they could have said?
They both look at one another, and I am personally not positive of anything from the way that certain individuals have acted. It goes against the grace that we were taught to emanate and grow with.
Mm-hmm. That sounds very, very true.
The other one seems more sheepish to answer.
Out with it, boy.
I believe in this greater entity. One that will rebalance the scales of power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Rebalance, huh? Okay. Okay. I'll send a message to Casimir, because they're still in the other room, and I will just indicate that I think we have something. We should probably follow up on it and maybe decide what we're going to do with these guys. All of them.
I'm not a bad person. I never wanted to bring anyone to harm.
I do it inside to see if he's lying.
Go for it. Oh, Zone of Truth is active. He's not lying.
Okay.
Sorry. Your insight would gleam that he's not lying, in case you didn't know how the spell worked. But yeah, Zone of Truth is active. He's not lying.
Come on, guys. Gotta get recruit allies wherever he can.
I don't think recruiting former cultists is a good idea, whether they regret their actions or not.
Casimir, you suddenly sneeze in the other room.
Yep. I'll wander on in because I'm like trying to reply for this telepathic thing, but it's just not working.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me? Did that work? How does your magic work?
It's a message. You just say what you want to say, and I hear it.
Okay. I tried that, but
Either way, yes.
so what are we doing with them?
Shall
What
we all
information?
secure them and find a different area to decide what we want to do?
We think we put everything that we could get out of them. For instance, do we know where Solara went?
Solara?
Yes. The one who I assume brought the child here.
The Void Speaker.
Yeah, sure, that one.
She came here. She looked like she was in some type of butcher shop, and when she did, she was trying to uncover the homicidal child. But then she seemed to see something coming and took off.
And how
And-
long ago was that?
She looks over now at you, Vindir. You appeared 10 minutes after she left. It was the
When
day.
did you...
It was a day ago.
Yesterday.
Okay.
Did she leave on foot or did she teleport away?
She left the building, and I can't say that I took much interest as to the direction she went. We're not
Mhm.
supposed to make direct eye contact or follow specifically what she does or anything. We just take her orders.
It's probably best not to do that. Also, she has a way of conditioning your minds to believe certain facts, but it's not actually true. Welcome to being in a cult. Do you know what a cult is?
They both nod.
Good. Don't do that. Or do, but do it properly.
Like in my cult.
Exactly. If you're going to believe in something, you should believe in the power of cocaine. Have you ever had cocaine?
Are you going to give Melissa cocaine?
Melissa raises her hand.
No, you're not allowed in my stashes. You already
Like you can
disrupted
stop me.
Exactly. This is why I cannot keep anything in the laboratorium.
No worries, sir. I never thought I was sacrificing anybody, I swear. We were supposed to keep her hidden and keep her away for her own safety until she returned.
Did you not really consider that if you were following someone that's called the Void Speaker, it probably sounded like the bad guy?
Why?
The Void, the end of all things, the infinite darkness. And they speak through that.
The void is the unknown. He smiles enthusiastically.
The Void is the extinction of everything. It is nothing.
I don't think that's true.
That is what... One of you more reading ones tell them that that's what the word means, right?
What you think is irrelevant because you've been conditioned to believe everything that this void speaker told you to believe to be true. Eventually, we will just begin to talk in circles, and then Bulkhead's gonna go over to the hall where they said the bishop had quarters and just start looking through rooms.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was my destination as well.
All right, Bulkhead, investigation.
I'm good at those.
Yeah,
28.
also investigate. Oh, jeez.
You may. Or are you interrogating?
No, I think we've gotten everything out of these people. Yeah, I wanted to look in this study or whatever.
Go for it. 32 to 28. Yeah, good people just
We're
pay
finding
someone
shit.
to actually lose the kid in transit. Wow.
Hey, who would do that?
Shots fired, Kaz. Anyways. 32 and 28. Both of you walk down the hallway and start checking the doors. One leads into a little linen closet. Another one leads into more of a cleaning closet. A third one leads into a private prayer studio. The fourth one, as you get over to the door and you begin reaching for it, you see
And
a slight shimmer across it.
oh, I was gonna say I wanted to be wary of traps.
Well, on a 32, you investigated the traps.
Yeah, there you go. So there's a shimmer on the door.
There's a slight shimmer as you reach towards the knob. But when you
Oh,
pull
hold
your
on.
hand away, there's nothing. Obviously, Bulkhead, you see that as well. These common cultists did not create a trap of a DC 28.
Did it appear to be magic in nature?
Shimmering usually suggests some type of magical
Yeah.
thing.
I will cast Dispel Magic.
Oh! It is dispelled. Congratulations.
I will stand 30 feet away from the door and use my magical hand to open it.
The magical hand opens the door. It swings open, and you see a very neatly kept room. A luxurious, lovely looking cot. Well, bed. It's an actual bed. A desk that seems a little too nice for a priest. I mean, unless your church is for profit, of course. And then you
Nothing wrong with
spy.
that.
And then you spy a bookshelf right next to that desk that looks through a window outside into a beautiful little garden with pink and blue and red flowers of these very exotic varieties.
As I walk in, I'm going to cast Detect Magic
Okay.
and see if I see anything in this room.
Perception check.
18.
Looking around, there appears to be something magical in one of the books, tucked away.
What school of magic is it?
Divination.
Mm.
We got something divination-y in one of these here books. What do you think we should do with it?
Well, divination usually isn't offensive. We should probably take a look.
I will grab the book and start flipping through it.
As you are flipping through, you see that this is a neatly kept journal. This individual seems to be keeping very good records of their day-to-days within the church itself. And as you are flipping through, you also gleam they have a little monocle that is glowing with the divination magic.
I'm gonna ritual cast Identify for 10 minutes.
Okay. Lucian, what do you look at during this time?
So he's looking at the bookshelf. I want to look in the
Well,
desk.
he's looking at the book that had the magical thing in there.
I want to look at the desk. Like, are there any locked drawers or areas that might contain papers that he did not want people to have easy access to?
Oh.
Or possibly hidden compartments in the desk?
Investigate.
Right. Ooh. 19.
All their lives could be in pursuit of its creation. You got a 19? Ooh, really low for you. Wow.
Yeah, it happens.
Whew. It's all right, though. Looking through, you see there is a small hidden compartment underneath the desk, and feeling around it, it feels like a very small hole opening that your pinky is too wide to fit inside of, but a quill or something like that would easily push up. As you investigate through there and push one of the quills on the desk up in there, a latch pushes down, and there's a small little collapsed shelf that you remove a very thin looking tome out of.
Ah. Excellent.
During this time, Bulkhead, you glean this as the monocle of magical circumstance. This magical monocle allows the individual who peers through it to see any disturbances in the magical origin or state of the weave within their visual prowess.
So this would be the circumstance. He literally says that out loud. And he's like, does it require attunement?
It does not.
He's gonna hold it up to one of his eyes and start looking around the room.
Okay. You start to see, as you're looking through it, that there appears to be a layer of magic that sits over top of everything. The magic of this plane is static, still, very calm. Very few small vibrations through the little threads of the weave that you can see. However, when you look at, say, Lucian, his entire aura completely disrupts and disturbs the weave within proximity of him. Seems to cause it to shimmer and quake aggressively outwards.
Could I infer whether that's it trying to make sure he can't do anything beyond his means, I suppose? Beyond, am I to assume that that's just, like, the weave doing its normal thing? Or does it look like a bad thing?
Roll me a Arcana. 25. You believe that's just Lucian's state of being capable of disrupting the weave because of how much magic he wields and has at the ready on his person when he needs it.
How does the weave react if I try to look at myself?
You look at your arm, and it's similar to his, but whereas his is more of a quaking outwards, yours is more of a pulsation back and forth.
Okay. Well, this thing lets anyone who looks through it to see disruptions in the weave. Let's see if there's anything else we can find in this church.
No. Do you stop looking through the monocle?
He's gonna start wandering around the church just to see if there's any anomalies.
Okay. Wandering through, you notice the two individuals that are still seated out there. When you look at them, they barely displace the weave with their positions and stating. When you look at Vendir, the weave seems to be pushed away from him and kind of flowing around in a very perfect circle.
Would I know that that's to do with him being a divine caster, not a arcane one?
You would
What is
need
that?
more reference points. This is the first time you've ever experienced with this.
What does, say, Liara look like? Liara, Casimir, or...
Casimir's reacts very similarly to Lucian's, where it seems more rough and pulsating in and out aggressively. Liara's is more similar to Vindir's, where it creates more of a pushed out circumstance. However, it periodically gets pushed a lot further out and then retracts.
What about
Looking at the weave seems to not interact very much with him, but all around him, the weave is pushed out at very jagged edges.
That's pretty cool.
You can't see that.
Oh no, I know. I'm saying out of character. That's
Oh,
all.
yeah.
You just see him walking around with a monocle looking at all of you.
I mean, I have that crystal. I could be doing that. I haven't been doing that lately because you said only when it's you'll say it'll come up when it's necessary.
I need more reference points as to ascertain what any of this means. Is this going to go into the sort of cloister that they have for the rest of the captured cultists? Is just see what their reaction, what the weave reactions to them are.
All of them have a very similar reaction to them as the other two cultists out there.
Okay. And then the last thing he's going to do is he's going to go outside to see if Solara left behind any anomalies as she left.
Roll me an investigation. During this time, Lucian, were you reading that book?
I was going to take a look at it, yes.
Okay. Roll me a quick investigation. Let's see what you yield.
Dirty 30.
We like that.
All right. Reading the cultist book.
God damn, another 2.
I'm gonna re-roll that with my chronal shift
Okay.
because
Why
fuck
not?
that. There we go, 26.
You're one of those guys who plays games and gets to the final boss with every potion in the entire dungeon still in your inventory, aren't you?
Somewhat. Why use consumables when you have things that replenish themselves?
All right. So, Lucian, 26. Opening up the book, it seems to be specific dates utilizing a calendar that you aren't familiar with, but you can still discern that they're specific dates, right? In addition to that, these dates have references of these numbers after them that also don't make immediate sense to you. Unless you have proficiency in some type of tool. Do you?
Tools? I'm proficient in forgery kit, gambling dice, herbalism kit, and thieves' tools.
Okay. Nope, none of those. What you do figure out, though, is after all of those numbers, it seems to be accounting for another category referred to as anomalies. That row is completely organized. And there does appear to be 2 references of anomalies across all of these dates that you don't understand. It's a different world than yours, and you're not really well versed on Arena. They use a different calendar.
Mm-hmm. All right. So it's not like where Bulkhound found a journal. This is more of just sort of like a ledger of just sort of information. But if you don't have the right frame of reference, it is useless.
More or less.
Yeah. Okay.
So, outside, Dirty 30 Bulkhead. Towards the right outside of the building, once you enter into a bit more of a forested area, you do see that there is something that caused the weave to have a very large disturbance in it. It's vertical, and it's like a line cut through and push the weave's availability outwards. It seems to be slowly stitching itself back into that proper position, though.
Okay, he's gonna go back into the church and tell Lucian everything he's seen through the monocle.
So it does seem like she teleported somewhere from here.
Yeah. Yeah, and since it just looked like a slice through the weave, there's not much we can glean as to where she went. Or whether that disturbance was coming or going, to be fair.
That is a good point. That could have been how she arrived, not how she left.
What, did you find anything?
Well, I found a secret compartment in the desk, but it's not like a journal or anything. It's more of a ledger. It looks like it's organized, possibly by this planet's calendar, but I'm out of my frame of reference. I was going to ask Vindir if it, as a local, if anything in there seemed to make more sense.
Vindir, you obviously hear this entire conversation.
Yes. What is it that you're asking if is got local implications?
Oh, yes. Oh,
You
I
got
found
good
this.
ears.
Yes, clearly. I found this ledger hidden in the bishop's desk. It seems to contain some sort of categorized information, possibly dates, but I lack the frame of reference to really be able to see the nuance.
Okay. Let me see this ledger.
Yes, here you are.
Alright, and I'll start flipping through the pages.
Okay. Roll me an investigation, Vindir.
I'm gonna guidance myself.
Can I aid him by letting him wear my special reading spectacles?
Are those attunement? I don't think so.
No,
Go for
they're
it.
just... They make you read
Oh
twice
my
as fast,
gosh.
apparently.
I've only made 2 rolls, and they've both been under 5.
Very thematic.
I will lay my hand on his shoulder and say, you need to concentrate, and let him re-roll with my chrono shift.
Take care, thank you.
Take care.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
15.
Much better. So, reading through, you pick up the dates. These dates span back roughly about 3 years, meaning this activity has been taking place inside your church, inside of this location, for 3 years. The next thing that you figure out, do you have any tool proficiencies?
I do not.
Okay. You figure out that the dates and the numbers after are what you're kind of held up on. You don't really know much about what those numbers after really mean. However, you do know that how do I put this? You do know that these dates line up with the travel records of this facility, since the leader of each of the churches has to register when they are leaving their church, who are they leaving in charge of the church, so on and so forth. So it would appear that he was going places on these dates in search of information. But those numbers still just mean nothing to you. The most recent one was about 2 weeks ago.
Is there a lot of numbers or like a couple numbers?
It's about 6. And they got like hyphens in there and shit. It doesn't mean anything to you.
Well, I could tell you about half of this. I don't know what the numbers on the end mean, but all these dates correspond with him taking leave.
I can. You want me to take a look at the numbers?
Yeah, I have no clue what they could mean.
Okay.
Tool proficiencies, Bulkhead. Go ahead and read off the list.
All right. Thieves' tools, tinker's tools, carpenter's tools, navigator's tools,
Ding, ding, ding.
cartographers.
Navigators. These are specific coordinates. On round-shape dome-style worlds, they use coordinates in order to specify specific locations. This is only something utilized, historically speaking, by people that utilize spelljammers, like you. A navigator of a ship would not know how to do this. Most people on the ground have no idea how to do this, but a trained navigator knows exactly how to do this. All of these are specified coordinates.
Interesting. These are coordinates. Do you have... Are there maps of your world? Do you have any, like, an orrery of some kind?
I have no idea, Joey. I don't know if I would have maps. If that's a thing.
You don't really have maps unless you bought them with your starting kit.
No.
Yeah.
What, did you check the bishop's room? See if he had any in there.
He's gonna
Well.
snap. He's gonna snap his fingers, as in like, aha! And he's gonna go into the bishop's room, look for maps or a globe or something that he can like try and figure out where these coordinates might point to.
No maps per se, but there are segments of maps written inside of a tome in the room. So if you remember those, and for me, these are old, like 80s and 90s travel books where you would flip through and you get like a county of an area and then go to the next one and stuff. Yeah, one of those.
Okay, he's gonna grab. So it's like an atlas essentially.
Yes, that's what they call them.
Okay.
Never had to use one. Google.
He's got like. He's also gonna look for if in this, because like historically, the clergy also did a lot of like bookbinding and record keeping. Is there any like bookbinding supplies like pastes or anything like that he could like essentially fashion a map out of this book?
There's proper tools, and you have the proper tools yourself. Go ahead and roll me.
I have cartographer's tools.
Roll me cartographers. Utilizing, we'll say intelligence, because you're looking for all the right components to put them properly together.
Heck yeah.
Well, I would ask, as someone who has used an atlas, there's always grid references on each page. Do those grid references match up to what Bulkhead had in the book?
Yes, they do.
This is mostly just him like
Mm-hmm.
like instead just like easier for like being able to look at it as one whole instead of just having to flip like back and forth.
It's just Bulkhead being Bulkhead.
35.
Anyone that flexes tool skills.
Technically, I'm proficient with all tools because I have
Yeah, we
the
know.
all-purpose
We
tool.
know. Artificer.
That's Bulkhead right now in our general chat.
It's like having a bard.
You see, it's all part of the plan. 35. It takes you about 5 minutes to put this 100 or so piece puzzle together.
Okay. So he's gonna essentially come out of the room with like one larger sheet of what would be like a large sheet of paper made out of a bunch of smaller sheets of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna like lay it on the floor and start like referencing the coordinates and like circling.
Oh, you gotta let that glue dry. It'll take at least a few hours. So you
Yeah.
just have his entire room floor
Yeah.
turned into it. Yeah. Remember, you said you were like actually gluing them together and shit. So it takes a
Yeah.
little bit, unless you have that magical glue.
I do not have magical glue.
Can I mend the pages together?
No, because they're not torn.
They're the edges. That will mend it together.
That's not, unfortunately, not how that would work. I'm just trying to see if I had any spells that. 1 second. Would I be able to? It's not necessarily listed in the actual parameters of prestidigitation. Would I be able to dry the glue with prestidigitation?
Roll prestidigitation. Let's see if there's anything that correlates. I know it cleans something sullied.
Like warm or chill? Would
Could I
chilling...
look at the map while it is drying and create a silent image of it?
Yes.
There.
Chill, warm, or flavor. Non-living material. Yeah, it only interacts with 1 cubic foot at a time, though, so unfortunately prestidigitation does not instantly dry glue.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. Silent image, there's now a map on the wall.
So he's gonna make a. He's gonna cross-reference. Does the image have the grid lines on it? I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, it's got everything.
Okay, perfect. So he's gonna like cross-reference the coordinates just to figure out the particular points that this guy visited. So we have places to go to do more investigating. And technically, I could use my my flying boots to float over the map and draw it on the map too. But for now, while he waits for it to dry, because he wants to have this as like a look at this puzzle I completed. He's gonna wait for it to dry, so we can actually properly use it for all this.
And as you point out the locations, I will make little things appear, and if necessary, we can connect the dots.
Okay, so we visited here and here. The question is, do we start with the oldest places first or the newest places first in terms of where he visited?
I would say newest, because if you go oldest, you're looking at 3 years ago.
Bendir, really quickly.
Or look at the places that have been more frequented.
Are any of the dates significant? Do they fall on a solstice or something like that?
Solstice or holy day.
That might bear increased significance as to when they went to which place.
So, I'll be answering that for you very shortly. I'm just typing it all out.
Okay. Because I am proficient in religion. I know, shocker.
Okay, so there are 4 holy days in Arene that are major holy days. There is the Luminara's Embrace. It is the first full moon of spring. It is dedicated to Luminara, the moon goddess. It is a holy day celebrating the renewal of life and the awakening of nature after winter. Communities gather to offer prayers for fertility, prosperity, and the protection of their lands. Festivities include moonlit processions, feasts, and the planting of sacred gardens. The second one is Flameheart's Vigil, which is the longest night of the year during the winter solstice. Devoted to Flameheart, the god of warmth and hearth. This holy day marks the triumph of light over darkness. Communities kindle bonfires and share the warmth of their hearths with neighbors. It is a time for reflection, gratitude, and the offering of symbolic flames to bring light unto the coming year. The third one is Eclipse Reckoning. It occurs during rare solar or lunar eclipses. It is a solemn holy day observed during celestial alignments, believed to be moments when the veil between worlds is thin. Communities engage in meditation, seeking guidance and wisdom from their ancestors and celestial beings. Rituals involved in creations of intricate patterns using colored sands symbolizing the balance between light and shadow.
That sounds like the one.
Answer that. Fourth one, Zephyr's Ascendance. It is the first day of summer when the winds shift. Dedicated to the wind. Oh, sorry, not Zephyr. The name of your god, because I changed that. What's the name of your god again?
Ira.
Huh?
Ira.
It is the first day. It is the first day of summer when the winds shift. Dedicated to Ira, the wind deity. This holy day honors the changing seasons and the power of the ever-shifting winds. Festivities include colorful kite flying, parades with wind-driven floats, and communal feasts featuring foods from distant lands carried by the wind. Yeah. So all 4 of those dates are inside of the list that you have.
Okay. I would go ahead and say that the first day of summer ones won't matter. I don't see any reason to connect Axiom with that, but the eclipses. When was the last eclipse for in the book?
Per in order of dates. Okay. So here's a handout for y'all.
Ooh, I like handouts.
That is all 20 of the locations that he traveled to. You were looking for the one that had the most recent eclipse. So the last eclipse reckoning. Roll me a religion check. Well, damn, you
knows
do
his
care about
religion.
religion. Yeah. The last lunar eclipse that happened was 3 weeks ago at the Obsidian Spire. That is when this last record happened. Before that, there was a lunar eclipse that would tie in to the Thunder Peak Observatory outing that he had. Okay.
Okay. And does it seem like this is out of character? Is their society able to predict the next eclipses?
What was your question?
This is out of character question. Is Rene able to mathematically predict when the next eclipses are going to take place?
Certain individuals, but not as a common feat of knowledge.
Okay.
There's kind of a location in that list of 20 locations that people who try to figure stuff out like that would be able to figure it out. The Thunder Peak Observatory. You know, observatories are usually meant for divining.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it just me, or is the handout hard to read? It's
It
like
might be because of how I formatted it. I'm sorry.
okay.
It's just like,
It's copy and paste from a different program.
yeah. It
All right, I just wasn't sure if that was my computer doing that.
Are you in dark mode or light mode?
I'm in light mode.
Okay, I'm in dark and I'm seeing it fine.
Oh, it shows up a lot better in dark mode. You're
Yeah,
right.
because I pasted it at I have everything in dark mode.
Oh, fair enough. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So if his visits seem to coincide with major celestial events,
Not
As
all of
well
them, but there are a few connections. Just pointing that out.
Yeah. We could infer, if we have information on when the next solar or lunar eclipse might happen and where it could possibly happen, we could have an inference as to where a possible future visit might be.
Or other cultists could, we could find them and they might know more.
Yeah, that's why some the ones that coincide with these holy days make me wonder if the bishop knew that there were cults that had invaded these other sects.
Well, given that this is happening for 3 years, I would say yes. It is a mess that must be cleaned.
You would be correct. So we seem to have at least in part dealt with the cult that had invaded your sect. Which of these holy days is your sect?
The start of summer.
Okay.
Mm.
So we've got the summer solstice one, that's checked off. There's of course it was the longest night of winter.
Yes,
The
Flame
first
Hearth.
the first full moon after the vernal equinox. What is the spring? The first full moon after spring, which, funnily enough, that coincides with Easter. Or close enough, anyway. First Sunday after the first full moon.
It's like there's connections to all of it.
And then the last one, unfortunately, is a solar eclipse, or is it just eclipse period?
Eclipse period. The celebration is altered differently based off of what type of eclipse it can be, but it only occurs during the rare solar or lunar eclipses, which are rare cosmic events. The fact that you've received 2 of them within a calendar year is actually very rare, Vindir. Very rare for your world.
Ooh, okay. We're talking like once every 1,000 years rare?
It would probably only happen once or twice in your entire lifetime rare.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So we couldn't. So then.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was muted.
So the various
No, your
sects
post.
that that could have been invaded is this god of warmth, then the moon god, and then was the moon one, was that the spring one? The full moon in spring? And
Yes.
The first full moon of spring was Luminara's embrace. That is the moon goddess. Yeah.
Goddess, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And did the eclipse one tie to a specific deity?
No, it's just a celebrated, renowned holiday. There are, whenever it is a lunar eclipse, it is very common to dedicate it to Luminara. But whenever it's a solar eclipse, it is very common to dedicate it to Flameheart's Vigil. Or Flameheart.
So we've got only 2 groups to investigate, this Flameheart and this Luminara. Because we have already dealt with yours. Unless I'm missing something.
Are any of these dates coming up in the next couple weeks?
I'm not sure about the eclipses. We would have to find some astronomers for that. But the other holy day that's closest,
Flameheart's Vigil,
yes.
which
that-
would be within a month.
In the bishop's travel logs, does he visit for Flameheart's Vigil every year?
For the past 3 years, there's been different locations, but always that date.
Okay.
Oh, they're moving it around on us. They're not making it easy. If I just look at those 3 dates and locations, is there any discernible pattern where we might be able to see where their next meeting will be on that conjunction? Or is it kind of random?
It's fairly... So you're looking for a correlation, correct?
Yeah, so if the logs go back 3 years and he's kind of gone in a place each of those years, I'll sort of like say, like, oh, he went here that year, and then he went here that year, and then he went here that year. Like, could I extrapolate where they might be going, or is it just really random?
I'll say roll me a history check.
All right.
See how you can analyze this information based off of the history of the log.
I will
I
help.
love history.
I will help because I'm also proficient in history.
I am
Nice.
not proficient in history.
Okay,
Then
even I'm
would
proficient
you
in
rather me
history.
roll my own then?
Yeah, it'd be probably better.
I'm proficient in history.
Ooh, so Bulkhead could be helped by Vendir.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh well.
Got that net 20,
What?
25.
Yeah, but
Well, I got-
30.
Yeah, but I got double 19s.
30, 30.
That's better than 2020.
30,
Yeah, butter. Better than. Never mind. I don't know
Butter
where I was
them
going with that.
biscuits, boy.
Yeah. apparently.
Anyways, so obviously the religious holidays of this world, there is always a travel note of when he is leaving. You believe that is mostly because it is easiest for a, bishop of a church to be able to leave their establishment on these significant holidays and pursue other goals that they wish to. However, there's no specific location that you can correlate to being observed more than once. Each of these places were observed only one time on these dates. What I will let you know, Bulkhead, is you being a far plains traveler, you also being proficient in history, are you also proficient in religion?
I am not.
So you have 2 out of the 3. You notice a few of these other days that don't line up with their religious holidays line up with a few of the more well-known holidays of Outer Plains.
Is there any sort of pattern in that? In terms of does it create some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of path on the map as to where it might coincide next?
If you knew what the next holiday on a far-off world would be, major holiday, you might be able to know, but unfortunately not. Yeah. However, you do mark down, looking at the sequence of the coordinates, the location, that is the Thunder Peak Observatory. That one is marked with a slightly color ink that you pick up. Whereas the normal ink is black, this one's like a very dark blue.
No other places on the map are marked like that?
The Solaris Oasis.
So the Thunder Peak Observatory and the Solaris Oasis are both marked with this blue ink.
Yep, very dark blue that almost appear black.
But none of these points have any markings on the map?
I mean, those are the names of the locations when you look at them on the map. I just shorthanded these are the locations because Vendir's right there and he can go, yeah, that's there, that's there, that's there, that's there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, this list of where he's visited, in terms of the map that I made of the Atlas, none other of these points have a mark at those points except for the Oasis and the Observatory.
That is correct.
Would I be able to tell how recently those markings were made?
You have forgery, right?
With my all-purpose tool.
Roll forgery utilizing wisdom.
Okay.
Can I help? I have forgery.
Then absolutely.
All right. I'm just gonna roll a tool because it doesn't really matter because I will have expertise with it because of the. I will have expertise with it because of tool expertise as well as the all-purpose tool. Not 20, 34.
Yeah.
Not cartographers.
I
You rolled cartographers.
I rolled it because I don't have Forger on there. But
I gotcha.
the expertise will be the same because of tool expertise plus the all-purpose tool.
I got you. I'm listening and processing the information a little slower while I'm reading the next part, so I apologize. I keep doing that.
Yeah, no worries.
But anyways, it would appear that those two markings both happened around the same time, as in, like, probably within days or weeks of one another, even though those 2 points are separated by about 10 months, 11 months. Actually, 13 months. And both of them are within the same time scaling as when the Thunder Peak Observatory would have been observed by this individual. So he went back and marked the Solaris Oasis the same day that he marked the Thunder Peak Observatory.
But I can't tell how long ago they were marked.
Oh no, within the same time span as the observatory, which was about 2 months ago.
So 2 months ago, he marked Thunder Peak and then the Oasis.
But the Oasis was already marked in the book well before then. He just marked it on the physical map 2 months ago. Or not the physical map, in the journal.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 months ago, he marked Thunder Peak Observatory and Solaris Oasis. Whereas the Solaris Oasis visit was, if it was 13 months before the Thunder Peak visit, and the Thunder Peak visit was, you said, 3 months ago?
Correct.
So 16... The Solaris Oasis visit was 16 months ago, so why would he mark it 3 months ago? Maybe that's where he's planning on going soon?
I would say he found something at the observatory that makes him think that something at the Oasis is important.
Maybe another eclipse. We should
Well,
go to the observatory
yeah.
and speak to the astronomers or the diviners, whatever you folk call them, and see if they believe another eclipse is going to happen soon. How far away is the observatory from here?
Vendir on foot. That would be about 2 weeks.
If we walk, it's about 2 weeks.
Well, that's no good. I guess we should take the ship then. But what to do about our new friends in the meantime?
I was thinking about that. Casimir, do you have any need for human flesh?
So that is the importance of. Okay, wait, what? Flesh? Yes.
Well, the room is all yours. And he walks away.
Or are you meaning right now? Well, I mean, I'm hungry, but I have better uses for them. Essentially. How does everything in a PowerPoint presentation sound to you all?
Vendir, you've heard his entire recruitment strategy this entire time, by the way. You have stupid perception. Everything that's said in the chat, unless, they're multiple blocks away from you, you hear. Like, so, his passive is fucking stupid. 32.
Technically, it's the highest you could go without getting extra wisdom.
Yeah. So, Casimir, I need you to roll me a series of checks. The first one is intimidation. This is you breaking them out of their stupor of the current cult they're in. The second one is going to have to be a performance. The third one, a persuasion.
Okay, I have bolstering magic and guidance on me
Okay.
for these. Intimidation, if it's using strength, we'll have +6 to this.
That is one success.
And then what was it? Performance?
Performance. Acting like, yes, I'm your friend. I'm your buddy. See, I'm trying to help you see the error of your ways. They're not convinced of that. Now, persuasion. Yeah, you're not getting any cultists, buddy.
Look and see all this around throwing you to a rabid vampire. What do you think?
Roll another intimidation.
With advantage?
No, this is just to see if you can't make up one of those other failures. +6, right? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
+6, and none of those actually rolled with bolstering magic. So...
Oh, bolster that magic. Alright, so the other one got a whole one. Yeah. So,
Makes it 25 though.
2 of the people seem subservient enough to be brought into your cult. And you know your cultists would all, very happily rip somebody apart, probably by biting them because they fantasize and fetishize being a vampire one day. Anybody that would try to betray you. The others, they're still pretty unconvinced. So 2 of them are better than meatbags.
Okay. You two, very happy that you've seen the lights. The rest of you, it's going to be a bumpy ride, but sure, you're going to be okay. You will live for at least the next maybe month as blood bags, but you'll be okay. After that, you'll be wishing for death, and I may grant it to you, but we'll see what happens.
All right.
Am I gonna have to fashion some kind of brig on my ship now?
We already. Oh, never mind. You already have one.
There's already
I do have a brig? There is
Yeah.
one?
We have
I
an
got-
empty one.
Yeah, Owen made sure of that.
Am I gonna have to expand the brig with all these fuckers?
There's only... How
10.
many of you are there? I don't think I've got enough fingers for this.
9.
Oh, I did have enough fingers for this. Right, so... The 2 that have seen the light, you get your own rooms. The others, yeah, you're going in the pen. Don't worry, you... One by one, you'll be taken out for walks. You just might not come back.
Well, I guess that's at least puts off the issue of the abomination for now.
You realize I'm right here?
This is,
You're not the abomination.
I made it!
Yes,
It is me!
No, it is something else that you made.
Well, it's... Vampires are like that, I think. I haven't actually done this process before, but I have my reasons for this. It was more rushed than I would have liked it to be.
Now we have 11 more mouths to feed.
It's food. We can pick it up anywhere.
I can make food out of basically nothing.
See? It's not like we need to feed them much. Get like 1 meal a day. The other guys get 2. See? Simple enough.
I'm just glad I don't have to clean up a bunch of blood.
Well,
Yet.
so,
Not my ship. You are instead. It's your ship, multiple times. And for some reason, I get a tingling every time you yell at my ship.
So, Vindir, you do notice that Liara seems to be incredibly high on some type of berries that she ate or something, talking to a basket outside.
What are you? Oh, Lord.
look, she's been like this. I've kind of been checking in occasionally between slides, but I don't fully get it. I think she's just processing her grief through spellcrafting and potentially drugs.
Is my map puzzle dry yet?
We can say that you guys waited the proper amount of time investigating, referencing, learning as much as you can. It is dry now.
Okay, I'll start packing it up
All right.
as we get ready to head back to the ship to go to the observatory.
Well, as you guys are getting ready to do that, remember your way back onto the ship is word of recall from Lucian. Unless Liara can gate again.
Let me pull up her sheet. I would assume she can. What's gate? Oh, gate's like a high level spell, actually, ain't it?
Yeah, it's like 9th level.
Yeah, didn't know she cannot gate again.
I think gate takes someone to you. It doesn't take you to a place.
It creates a gate from that
Oh.
other individual to them, and you can just walk through the gate.
Ah.
That's how you guys all got here last session.
I thought we brought the ship.
You did.
No, we gated. Liara made a gate to Melissa.
The ship is right outside the world, just like flying around.
It's in orbit.
Oh, right.
So
She beamed
what-
down.
what we can. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
You don't
Liar
have a way
can
to
lose
contact
life.
your ship to like get them to bring it down.
Well, that would require me. So me and Lucian can go to. Can go back to the ship, and I can bring the ship here.
I can bring us all to the ship just as easily
Up
as
to
I can
10
just
people.
bring you.
Up
But
to
we
10.
have a lot of goons to bring to the ship, so we need to bring the
I
ship
don't care
here.
about goons.
There's
I mean,
6 of you
really-
and 11 fodder.
Casimir
people.
can shove them all in his bag of holding for all I care.
I don't have one of those, but also,
I do.
does your spell need to work with living people? Because I can kill like half of these people and
Well,
then just keep them
I
in
mean,
reserve.
if they're not living, they're not people.
So how many can you take? The rest of them could just become feet. Like,
Me and 5 others.
So
well,
literally
that's not a whole
the
lot
party.
of numbers.
That's the party.
Okay, Rick,
Yeah.
that's not enough.
It's enough
So
for
yeah,
me.
let's. So again,
Oh. Yes, I'll
Let's-
wait here with the people.
yeah. So just wait. He's gonna open up the map again and ask Vinder to point out where on the map they are currently.
You all are currently in the Verdant Glade.
Okay. All right. We'll be back in a jiffy.
Can
Lucian.
I keep the priest? I need to do some checks.
Knock yourself out. Let's go, Lucian.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to go now? We'll be back for the rest.
Melissa raises her hand.
I would
Alright.
say take her just in case.
You should probably just take Liara as well, because I don't think she's going to
Oh, never
be
mind.
very far.
Melissa takes her hand back down.
Melissa, I don't think you have a choice in it. I don't think she's leaving you.
You should take with you as well.
Yep.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
So,
All right, Kaz, we'll be back for you and
You-
your
bloop
minions.
a certain amount of you away. The others have to start traveling on foot. And I think this is a good place for us to go and break, y'all. We'll be right back. We're back. And where last we left off, some of the party members were recalled back onto your Spelljammer before heading back to the party, having them all wait a few hours and getting to them. Now that you've all rejoined with one another, you can see that this flying ship in the sky, Vindir, is a very strange anomaly. Something that doesn't really happen in your realm. There's not really sky ships. Mostly because a lot of people like the journey to get to where they are going, not just the destination. And thanks to the combined efforts of you and Bulkhead, you all can move fairly efficiently to your desired location. However, it's time for you all to meet this new priest, since you just welcomed him in to your open arms. Get ready. Now we have a campfire session, y'all.
Start singing Kumbaya, I guess, since it was a campfire.
So this is where you all meet each other.
So how did y'all become a group?
Sort of, well, a former associate now, and myself were marooned after being attacked by vampires, and we were saved by a wandering goddess who took us to their world and points to Liara and Kaz and Lucian.
Where's your friend?
He's gone, unfortunately. He's dead.
Oh, my condolences.
Yeah, I'm still sort of dealing with that. Scoured from existence and all that. Soul death and all sorts of fun things.
Oh,
Just because he's gone doesn't mean he's forgotten.
True.
Very true.
And he'll sort of continue, like, explaining the history of how all this shit started happening and why we're all together. I'm not gonna...
Yeah.
But now there's the other person you all get to meet.
Yeah. Get to meet me.
So, tell us about yourself. I mean, realistically, I know we kind of just spent the past couple of hours, but like, what is this world about? What do you kind of believe in? And I think more of a question is, why have you stayed here? We jump from places to place, but don't you have your own things to do?
Well, I've always had a deep connection with the metaphysical and subtle forces of the universe. And I've always wanted to travel, but the winds have always guided me around Irene, and that's why I've never left. but I have been on a quest, so to speak, to stop Exium. I got some visions that he was trying to come back, and my goddess gave me some guidance on where to go. I've been tracking that cult down, and I finally found them when then, well, y'all arrived, and now, as the fates have it, we are both going after a common enemy.
Hmm.
I
So you
suppose.
you weren't a member of that church?
Well, not that building,
Mm-hmm.
no. But what that building is a part of, yes.
Okay.
Are you worried that I am a cultist in disguise?
I don't know one way or the other, honestly. But if your goals are to stop Exium from doing whatever it is that they are trying to do, gaining access or resetting or whatever all these. See, none of the people that we have ever talked to that are under or within Exium's sphere of influence, they never give us the same answer. It's always this vague, oh, there's suffering in the world, and Exium will stop the suffering of the downtrodden. It's all very, it all sounds really good, and it's honestly, it just seems like a lot of bull.
Well, it says it wants to bring balance to the universe. And I am under the impression that there is more good than there is evil. And to bring balance would mean to bring more evil into the universe. And I cannot have that happen.
Yeah, evil, totally bad. Mhm.
Yes, Kaz.
Absolutely. Although, just for clarity's sake, and just to make sure that you're not. Are you a cultist?
Depends on how you define a cultist.
See, that sounds very cultist-like.
I'm aware. I am religious. And some people view that as cult-like.
It's very true. All kind of religion is basically just a cult. I can agree with you on that.
I mean, you yourself run a cult, Kaz. So I mean,
yes, but that exists for a reason, and they
Yes.
produce my drugs.
Yeah, you want them to be your slaves.
No, well, not really. I just you need to understand vampire dynamics, and they essentially have a lot of people. I was alone. I am the newest of the ones in our court. And a lot of them are vying for me, and some also feel threatened by me. Getting allies has not been the easiest of tasks. So, I produced my own people. Some who were willing, some that would be able to work away at some of the smaller things while I'm away exploring, doing whatever it is we're doing out here. It's part of the reason why that one got turned.
are your people paid?
Yes.
then they're not slaves because you pay them. So
Exactly.
there.
But how does making drugs make you allies?
Well, no, they believe that I'm going to make them a vampire at one point. It's very much a very prominent thing about it, but it's not something I'm really going to actually give them. Probably not, anyway. The one that I have turned has been the only one I have ever turned, and the reason that I turned them is they are strong, but they are also weak against me specifically. But their talents is something that I need. And that is why I try to... The process got a bit quickened and hasted, and it didn't work out exactly how I wanted. But the one that is undergoing the change and trying to deal with the hunger right now, eventually will become a useful pawn. I did not do it as a blessing to them, I gave them a curse. They are undergoing their own kind of punishment. They were dead. I gave them a new purpose. They had to be willing to accept this. They know essentially what this is, but in a way it's to redeem themselves to a better purpose, so to speak. But I have many ideas, I have many goals. To do that, I need proper help to be able to do it. And studying, for example, is not one of my best things. So many times I've tried to research things and nothing comes from it. I will fall asleep in the middle of books or just start randomly bleeding from every piece on my face. They're smart. They can put it to use. And for those of you who have met Edgar, I'm pretty sure that you absolutely understand why I need someone like that.
You receive a sending. Master, did you ask something of me?
Why did you know? No. Why are you here?
You all see Casimir freaking out, looking around wildly for somebody.
Only said his name once, and yet he knows.
He's your most faithful acolyte. He knows when he's needed.
Look, he is very, very useful. Also, most of my current people are people of the cloth themselves, sort of priest-like. So having someone with a bit of smarts is useful.
Unfortunately, I've seen worse.
It's not like I'm trying for world domination. Or...
Yet,
no, I have no use for that.
the whole world making your cocaine?
Yeah, I have no use for that. If you have a monopoly on the market, you don't really gain too much from it. That's a lot of politics I don't want to be involved in. I hardly even wanted to be involved in the politics I already am. I did it for independence, not because I wanted to get involved in, well, this vampire did this and this noble can't do this. I didn't care about the corpse. But I need to keep up appearances. Otherwise, if I'm the odd one out, they got to kill me. Which they might already do once they learn that I've kind of sired a vampire without asking their permission first. That's going to be a conversation when I go home.
Wait, you weren't allowed to do it?
Vampires are not allowed to be made normally, not without express permission.
Oh, man.
And I'm not one that has been granted that ability yet. So,
Why do you think Lucifon was so pissed?
yes. I didn't think it would be that big of a problem, but everyone hates my kind.
And weren't you planning on turning a couple more of these cultist guys that we
No.
brought along?
No, none of them are being turned. I might sell it as a practice, but no. I turned her because I needed a way to control her. She was powerful enough that I needed some way, some connection to properly keep a hold, and to break through the conditioning that Solara has on them. I cannot do that through normal means. The only way that I was be able to do that and to put them to use was by using this.
Okay.
There's method to the madness. I might seem reckless at times, but I don't try to do things too out of stretch. So,
I can understand that.
I'm gonna go and just check my book real quick, just on the question I asked Vindia for, is he a cultist, and just flick through the answers a little bit.
Vindir, what was on your mind when you said if you are not a cultist?
Flashbacks of hardcore atheists calling me a cultist. Because I was religious.
Doesn't really answer my question. But yeah, I'll put it under a maybe. Kazagor's just mumbling to himself in that moment.
You know I can hear you and understand your mumbles.
What's wrong with that? Sometimes it's good just to talk to yourself.
Eavesdropping is rude.
And that...
Not eavesdropping if you're doing it in front of somebody.
Well, I'm just informing a couple of things to myself. Don't worry about it, it's absolutely fine. Though you are quite a perceptive one.
Yes. Years of training.
What can you tell me about this? And I'll point to my chest. Just showing the maw. What can you tell me about it?
I'm gonna go get up close and personal to Kaz's chest.
Religion check.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and use game advantage.
Have some guidance.
25.
From the recent research that you've been conducting, he has had some type of astral interaction with him, specifically eldritch in nature. By the looks of it, it is attempting to corrupt his physical form. However, his physical form is powerful enough to subdue it, it would appear. Yeah.
Does it look like something like Greater Restoration could take care of, or is this looking more like fuck, I don't even know. Yeah, will Greater Restoration take care of this?
It looks more intricate than that.
So I'm guessing regeneration. regenerate.
It's
Regenerate
not
would heal back the missing portion in his stomach, but yeah, not. It doesn't actually look like he needs that much. Like, his body is handling it remarkably well. It looks more like a thing for him than a bad thing all in all.
So do you have control over that thing, or is it like just in your chest?
I don't know. And that is partly why I was asking him to see what he could see.
Can you make it smile?
Like, can I try to, like, do anything with it?
Give me a con save. Let's see how you can flex them abs. You know?
Wait, that's a living being in your chest?
Living is a wrong way to look at it. It's an eldritch feature, curse, however you wish to look at it.
Parasite?
No, that's just me. $25 on the con save.
Yeah, you can kind of make it like chomp, like a Venus flytrap.
That's about it. But if I open it, I believe it's just a void.
Like a void?
Like a void. It's...
Are you
It feels
putting
similar
anything
to...
in there?
It feels like there's nothing in there. It's... From what I understand, there is some necrotic energies that are housed within it. It was from something that I consumed, and I think it might have still tried to take over me, but then instead I took over it, and instead my body has mutated to accept it. But I don't understand what it is, how it can be used, and what exactly has changed.
Have you tried to feed it?
I'll try to open it and see if that's possible.
You flex and it like opens.
Is it just like a void in there? Like rather than like organs or anything?
Yeah, there's organs, but it doesn't look like your organs. Surprisingly, you've been cut up enough that you would recognize what your organs look like.
Wait, that doesn't look like mine.
Doesn't look like your insides?
Yeah.
Well,
Look,
hold
when
on.
you've been in the pit of a couple of like dragons, and the acid eats away at everything, you kind of start to get a bit used to how things look. And
Yeah, I'll take your word on that. I am gonna go. You know, there's probably a long candlestick somewhere made of wood. You know, this is the church, and I'm just gonna grab it and poke the the organ with said candlestick.
Okay.
Like one of those tall ones, like you know, like 3 feet tall candlesticks. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to be close.
Yeah. So you reach over and poke it in there and boop.
Do you feel anything?
Kind of tickles a little bit.
it tickles a little bit. Like if you go like about 2 centimeters up, that bit's a little bit itchy, and it's letting in a little bit of a draft. But my organs didn't look like that before.
Well, they are your organs at least.
Probably, maybe. Should we grab one of the blood bags and I'll just get them to like stick a
Hand?
hand in
Yes.
there.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
For science, right?
exactly. See, he's already getting it.
Getting what?
Oh,
Science, baby.
I'm a scientist.
Who are you now?
hmm One of the top scientists of our world, of
Oh, is-
Zodiac.
I always wanted to be a bit of a scientist myself.
The key to good science is having an open mind. That's why Casimir's so good.
I'll take one of the like apples that Liana's pulled from somewhere and try to feed it. I don't think it's going to kind of want this.
It doesn't want that.
Yeah, it doesn't want this.
You
Right.
need to get one of your.
Yeah, I'll go fetch one of the blood bags and then bring them. And then it's like, right, you put your hand in here.
As his entire body is sucked into your chest.
I mean, he puts his hand in there, and when he takes it out, it's just black coated.
Stick his head in there. And try to like close your stomach mouth.
Okay, yeah, put your head in there. Also, it's black. That's something else as well.
Sticks his head in there.
I'll try and like shut it close.
Oh yeah, you snap his head clean off. It takes a little bit of getting used to. There's like a gnawing bit. Like you're not used to flexing your abs. Like you're not a show off, right? So it takes a lot of crunching, and eventually they stop struggling because you killed them.
Do I feel any different after
Man.
that?
Awkward, because everybody just watched you feast.
Yeah, Casimir, that was off-putting.
Yeah, I'm a little sick right now. I did not realize that was gonna happen. I thought maybe he'd just get sucked in and I wouldn't have to see anything.
Luke, you said to try it.
I know. I don't fault you, but it doesn't mean it wasn't gross.
Yeah, but it's strange.
What
He
did
was
all
a
the
little
other
weak.
guys think when their buddy got eaten by his chest?
Oh, did you do that in front of all the other ones?
It didn't seem like we hit it.
Well, he said he went to go fetch one of them. You know, like
Oh, I don't know where they are.
oh yeah,
Brig.
brig.
I thought we were like,
Are you guys hanging
Yeah.
out in the brig
No, definitely not.
already?
I
then?
will
like
say that
focus
I
here.
grabbed 2 of them just in case. So I want to see what the other one's reaction could be like to it.
How terrified does he look?
Pretty fucking
there's-
terrified.
Do you know anything about this? You're a cultist. You study void things.
Me?
Yes.
No. I
Oh,
think you
goodness.
severely overestimate my capabilities.
No, I understand how useless you are. That's why you're being kept as a blood bag. But
didn't you realize that that's Exium in his chest?
What?
That is a void.
yeah, but they don't understand.
But that's not Exium.
Did it destroy?
Sure it is.
Oh, it's Exium. Sweet.
You want to go next?
No. Damn, I thought you were going to play a good cleric. Fuck me.
The group.
He's a
Affects-
chaotic good cleric.
Does this black goo mean anything? Like, what can you tell from it? And I'll like hold up his hand that's left over on the headless body.
Yeah, can I discern what type of, I don't know, how to put this, is it kind of like blood or tar or like you know, drool from an eldritch beast.
Black bile, one of the 4 humors.
So, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. Let's see what you can figure out.
Shit. Alright.
Yeah, I was.
I was opening it up to the
Oh!
group at large.
Nat 20.
No,
Nice.
Well, damn.
22.
We love 22. So, looking at this, you managed to figure out that that tar seems to be the remains of things that Casimir has consumed that his body has not been built properly to consume. He is, through sheer force of will, eating things that he is not meant to eat.
That's your pre-shit.
What?
That's what your body can't digest.
Okay, I'm still entirely confused, but it is what it is.
It's the whatever you're eating, your body cannot digest it properly, and this is what it does to it. It turns into this black goo, and in essence, it is shit that you cannot get rid of.
So, we did sort of fight this large beast thing that was in some abomination from the stars that you couldn't actually kill it, it just continuously regenerated. It was something from the unknown or the abyss or the beyond. It's one of those words. And I sort of ate it, and then I consumed something from it, and that's when it started, you know.
You ate
Happening.
something that cannot be destroyed?
Yes. Well, 2 things technically. I also consumed an immortal. After the fact.
Yep.
How are you still alive?
Well, there's the thing. He's not alive to begin with.
Yeah,
Well, I
technically
mean,
he's
I know,
undead.
I know he's undead. I know he's not dead.
Which means I am technically alive. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Because
I guess your vampirism, your curse is your blessing right now.
the bigger predator normally comes out ahead.
It's funny because you ate the guy's head.
Yes, it is funny.
Thank you. While I haven't learned a lot from it, it still helps.
Y'all are very disturbing.
He's a robot, he's a god, I'm something. Like,
Not dead.
exactly. We have a mixed group. No, he's a god, but he's not a god, but he's sort of a god.
And you're
I
not
both
dead. You're kind
am-
of dead. You're somewhere in between. And then same with him.
Well, I
Oh.
was a wizard who attained godhood, and now I am the wizard again, but I am also still the god.
sensing a theme here. You are all
So,
things that don't exist but do exist.
so you being the runner-up to be the avatar of your god, Vindir. Now that you think about it, the name Lucian sounds like that standoffish loner god that she saw at one of the round meetings from afar.
Okay. I believe you have met my, maybe not met, but been in the same room as her at one point.
It's possible.
She described you as a.
I wasn't very comfortable. It was, you know, it was all too new. It's pretty intense, honestly. I mean, when at first I thought I was gonna be like one of the main gods, and then I was like this lowly like intern god. It was it's not as advertised. But it's all right, you know. It was a very and is a very interesting dynamic. It's far more interesting, you know, amongst all the people.
We lost him.
Could we lose?
Yes.
All right, let's give him a minute.
My statements blew his mind.
Yep.
He's just standing there dumbfounded.
Being a god sucks. Nani?
Well, I thought I was gonna be a Leo, but I ended up being an Aries. It was
Oh,
not
no.
it was not cool.
Never trust
and-
Aries.
Ended up becoming a metaphysical bureaucrat.
Not the bureaucrats.
So, Lucian, what do you know about divine sparks? Because you had one at one point. But it's something only gods have, isn't it? Is it like a physical object? Is it... what?
Oh, it's yeah. It's a nexus of power that you can draw upon. And it allows you to do things that are beyond most individuals' understanding.
But, so does that have a physical form? And is it transferable? Does it have
No.
limitations, or does it have restrictions on you by having one?
Well, it is and it isn't transferable. I mean, it was bestowed upon myself and my companions, but it's not something that we gave to ourselves. A say-so, like, elevated us. So ultimately, you would need to be of that higher ability to make those kind of decisions.
think it's possible to steal one. I mean, if I kill Ares, there may just be one, but do you think that is something that's possible?
I don't know if it's something that can be taken or stolen. I don't know per se, but if you, as you say, kill Ares, you could be granted his position.
I don't exactly want to become a god.
Well, you might not have a say in the matter if you set upon this path. That could be where the path leads. You can't just kill a god and leave all those realms in the void. Like, something needs to fill that hole that is created when a god dies.
I mean,
I don't
maybe
know.
You'll see. It's things that go in the mind. Because I was also considering everything that happened at Thunderous. If it was something that we could acquire, even temporarily, it
Yeah,
would be beneficial.
I don't know. I honestly don't. I mean, I get it because Ares is the only god that you have access to, really. But I don't see why you guys have such beef with him.
Oh, I don't intend on like stealing anything for Ares. It's something that me and Ares already agreed upon. Like, I don't have a real grudge with them. It was just something that I challenged him with, and he accepted. And he told me to come back. It's an agreement between us. He wanted to be 3, and I offered him to freedom. Via death. He accepted.
Well, I mean, it's...
But I do not intend on, after that happens, should I survive it, I don't intend on exactly taking his position or staying there at the arena or anything like he did.
Well, he doesn't have to stay in the arena either. He's just...
He's confined to the world, I believe?
He's not confined. He could leave. He's just... He has a limited vision. He doesn't see what he would do if he left. And if he stays, he gets to be the only one there. He just sort of made that his existence. He is his own jailer.
Liara, if we kill Ares, you can take his position. But if we do have the whole Divine Spark thing and it doesn't come with any restraints, I will take that, because I think you can use that to kill the other things. Deal? Glad. Glad we had this conversation. Good talk. Vinder, are you back with us?
Yes.
Welcome back. So, what was your conversation again, Vinder
I
and
don't remember.
Lucian? Talking about the bureaucracy of godhood.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
anything.
yes. Yeah, you were bored. You didn't feel comfortable because it was all new.
Yeah, you know, you don't just go and talk to these other, you know, beings that are... I don't know. I kind of stuck to myself, and
Did you not know of their existence prior to ascending to godhood?
honestly, no. We were, you know, Zodiac had its pantheon of gods. Ares was amongst them, and they all kind of lived in the world. Not all of them, but most of them. And one of them just got really nuts with power and was being overbearing, and so we were trying to deal with that and ended up defeating him to free people from his oppression. And we kind of got the impression that, once we overthrew them, we would be able to take their place, but we didn't realize that they were the low rungs on the totem pole. Really, it was kind of weird.
So the guy you defeated was just looking for a promotion, and you Okay.
I don't know. He was just trying to be in charge of his world, but he was not
being a
going
dick about it.
about it in a good way. Because there were all the myths and the legends that we were dealing with. You never have the whole story when it comes to that kind of thing. You only know what they want you to know.
And it's usually something cryptid.
And it was like they killed the dragons were in charge, and then they rose up and killed the dragons or something, and then they took over. But the dragons killed the elementals and took over. It just seemed like it was a lot of, well, if you take out the guy in charge, you get to be in charge. And apparently it's not how it works.
Well, I am sorry that your godhood wasn't as you expected it to be.
Well, I mean, it's a confusing thing to explain. Like before the final battle, you have to make arrangements. So I created a clone, and I am that clone. I was just awakened. And now I'm out in the world, adventuring.
So is the non-clone version of you still working as a god?
As far as I know. I'm not omnipotent. I don't know everything. I know everything I knew up until the moment that I awoke. But after that, it's all.
Well,
I'm just me.
I guess my question is, if they found out you were here as a clone, what would happen?
Honestly, I don't think they care.
Well,
I mean, I told you, the gods they're kind of indifferent. That's why they're suffering, because it's all like, whatever. Didn't make it to be perfect. It just kind of is what it is. And if it gets too out of hand, they'll step in, but they never step in. It's all relative. It's overly complicated, but I just think of myself as who I was and who I am, not what I became.
Is it something that you wish to become? Or see how it's done, India?
I've really not thought too much into becoming a god. My life's been dedicated to serving.
Why do you serve the god that you do?
She brought me purpose. when I had very little.
I can understand that. What kind of purpose?
Just teachings on how to better the people around you, to understand the inner peace, and to find peace wherever you are.
I find peace normally comes after the fight.
Well, some people find the peace to be the fight.
That's true. Being in the fight can be fairly peaceful. But the quiet afterwards, I always find it to be something. Like, there's so much chaos that leads up to it. Sometimes it takes just a second to spark it all off. But there's always tension beforehand. There's always something from one person or another. But in the actual fight, there can be chaos, but there also can be simplicity. But after the quiet after, I can respect the peacefulness in that.
Yeah, Ira, she has taught me and shown me that everybody's peace is different. There may be a lot of similarities. There could even be people who share the same type of peace. But there could be people who have peace in things that we would never understand. Peace in the middle of chaos.
What is your ideal kind?
My ideal kind of peace? A nice soft breeze. Summer sun.
You. Most of the sun part, not the summer.
Clear skies with a few
It's like baked
fluffy
chicken.
clouds.
Sorry, just thinking vampire. It's baked chicken.
Why can't it be fried?
Extra crispy, please. Anyways, go ahead.
Sitting on top of a high cliff, looking as the world moves. That's my peace.
With a waterfall or without a waterfall?
Without.
I think personally I prefer with. But still.
Can't
It's
hear
nice.
the wind with a waterfall.
That's true. Also, the water is thick and will try to attack you.
Sure.
Look, it happens. On more than one occasion, surprisingly.
And what is your peace, Casimir?
I think I must have said it. The quiet after a nice battle. I can't stay still for too long. I've known too much. Been soldiered for too long.
Is it that brief quiet before the realization of the destruction, or after the destruction?
It's not so much about the destruction, I would say. Like, I don't seek to go out and destroy things. But there is a calm that comes to the adrenaline rush afterwards. To when the bodies are on the ground, the last breaths are being taken. The just hang of iron in the blood as it lingers. And everything's just silent. For how chaotic everything may have been, the clashing of steel, people shouting, screams, whatever have you. It all kind of mellows out in that moment. And everything is just quiet. It's peaceful. Now, don't get me wrong, I can enjoy the quiet. But I can enjoy the peacefulness of nature. I did for many years. But I suppose I grew restless. I need to be constantly on the move, otherwise. What? I am functionally immortal right now. Even before, when it was an elvish way, there's always ways how you look upon the years. You want to make use of them, but you have more time. So you get busy. I could say I've stayed in place and did nothing at all. And I did that for 20 years. And it very nearly broke me. Don't get me wrong, I was frozen inside of a second, but still. Having to look at the same people for 20 years non-stop, you remember some surprising details about them.
Yes, I guess to keep your brain functioning, you'd have to memorize every minute detail.
And then I forget it often. So then you start again. And then you work through. And then you finish it. And it's like, can you remember the start? But then you're still frozen. So you still need to go on. The world passes by, but you need to keep yourself entertained. Otherwise, the years of it, as they go by, they just gradually drive you insane. That's my view on it, anyway.
What about you, Bulkhead? What's your piece?
Bulkhead? Are you there?
Right this moment, not his piece.
Okay, Lucian.
There we go.
What's your piece?
Oh, I am most at peace when I'm able to sit and just absorb a good book. You just knowledge. It's very interesting to learn new things. And when you're as old as I am and you've learned as much as I have, it's harder and harder to find information that seems so new that it seems incredible. But somehow, if you look hard enough, you can still find it.
And where are you consuming this knowledge? What does that place look like?
Well, it's in my library. And I will summon the door to my the Lucian's library, magnificent mansion.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Your own personal oasis.
This place is is not technically real, but it contains every piece of information that I have ever encountered.
Are you guys going in there?
Yeah,
I'm not
we'll
su-
go on then.
Will going in there screw with us on the spaceship?
No.
Nope.
Oh, okay, then yes.
When you go in there, Sebastian seems to be hanging out and looks over. Hey, guys.
Oh, you're in here?
Yeah, we've been... I found the key, Dad. Loose shit?
Yeah,
Dad?
whatever works.
Pops. Found the key.
Good.
Your son lives in your not real library?
My son has got issues. He can't.
He lives with me still.
No,
He
he
can't move
can't.
out.
He can't stay anywhere because he lost his tether. So he pops in and out, and this way, wherever he is, he has a place to stay. It's like I said, it's not a real place, so if you're able, you can open the door to it wherever you are and find respite.
There's a portal that we made on the Zodiac connect here.
No, you can only leave through the door you came in. So he could leave and go back where he was, but we could not follow him.
Right.
So how does
See-
this knowledge work?
What do you
Like,
mean?
You say every bit of knowledge you've ever learned is in here. So do you write everything down and put it in here, or is there basically a magical scribe attached to your brain?
Well, it's not technically everything I know. It's all the books I've encountered and such. They're all reproduced here. They're all on the shelves. Sometimes it could be a little harder to find what you're looking for, but there are unseen servants that can help you locate what you're looking for.
Joey, do those fox people exist in Arena?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Do you have one? You have some of them small little cute fox folk running around in here?
No, that sounds weird.
But your son forever couch surfing doesn't?
It's not like it's a choice, man. Like,
How'd you lose your tether?
Saving
He
the
saved
world.
the world.
Have you saved your world?
It hasn't needed saving. Until now.
You're welcome, man. Because if we didn't kill the water,
Yes.
your world would have died or drowned. So you are welcome.
Casimir and Liara were both instrumental in the I don't know if it was necessarily a defeat, but it was definitely a subjugation of the water elemental Levi, who wanted to flood all the worlds. And
Not
at the
everybody
crucial
died.
junction when either victory or defeat could have been achieved, Sebastian chose to sacrifice his plans to make sure that everyone would be safe. So I wanted to make sure that he would not overly suffer for that decision.
So the person who gave you godhood did not want to give it to him? For saving the whole universe?
No, she gave us a single question and then was very vague in the actual answering of that question. It was quite frankly a rip-off. This whole thing, like, it's why I can understand a lot of these cultists' opinion, honestly, so, because what was that?
Say so works in mysterious ways.
I got more information out of the cultists on what I need to do than I did from her.
Does sound like a ripoff. I'm sorry, Sebastian.
It
I
is.
apologize for my rude comment on your unfortunate life circumstances.
It's all good, man. I get it.
Oh, and Seabass.
Yeah.
Have you still got the potion ring?
Lucian, does he still have that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get it? Because these people keep dying and they need potions.
That's your call. It's your character.
Well, Kaz doesn't even use potions.
That's why I said for those people.
For
Who
these
died?
sons of bitches. Don't know how to
Besides-
properly drink like a vampire.
Look, I'll give you the money to get a new one. I don't drop by Zodiac much often, but I know you can be able to pick it up. But still, can I please?
Yeah, I guess.
Here's 1,000 gold. How are things on Zodiac? Has anything weird been happening recently?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a, rebellion against the, allyship coming from Ares people. And, Morian's kind of, it has a lot of Ares fleets out on the waters.
Is he trying to go to war with the rest of the world?
I don't know. But dude got a lot stronger ever since the war with the dragons.
Nah, for fuck's sake.
And yet still all they could give was immortality
I mean,
to someone with immortality.
I think the one thing that people are suspicious about is, like, apparently he wants an apology or something. I don't know.
From the people of Morian?
Someone. You know I don't pay attention to that shit.
So Liara has been kind of annoying him more than what she did before. He threw a couple of like stones at us. He threw a platinum potato. But I think you were there for that one. But he threw some other platinum stuff at us from after that. And he's kind of smited a couple of people. He nearly killed some student on this world that we were in. They lived.
I mean,
I
that's
think-
good.
Barely, but like realistically they probably should have been hit.
Okay.
But it's entirely possible that the one he's wanting an apology from is Liara,
Well-
but it's not going to happen. Also, I think she's waged war against him, and there's a competition going to happen in a couple of
for
months'
fuck's
time.
sakes.
Did you hear that message in your mind about the whole universal thing?
Yeah,
So
she
that was-
already explained it to me.
Yeah, so that was Liara. So in a couple of months there is going to be a tournament. She's going to try to beat him in cooking there.
Alright, I'm gonna go talk to him and see if we can't simmer him down a little bit, but seriously, if an apology can stop this from happening, it's useless to
It's-
ask her for anything.
It's not going to happen.
I know.
Wait, so that was y'all who sent that message in my head?
That was Liara, yes. We kind of sent it all across the world and broke a law of the universe by doing so.
Yeah, exactly. Explain to me how you pulled that off.
Not we.
It's we
We
by
did it.
Everyone
grand
collectively points
we.
at her.
I think we took an artifact from the vaults and tundras of the first human, some horn, and used it as the material component for some spell, but it also required multiple mages to try and infuse it. I think they ended up, one of the illusionist mages that they had ended up dying in the process and just turned into magic entirely. I think Liara lost an arm from it at one point, but then she just moved bodies and got it back.
Yeah, it was her hands.
Yeah. They kind of just turned it
She should have
into-
never brought that guy. She told me that guy was like really powerful, and he sucked.
I mean, it was an illusionist. What
All
do you
respect
expect?
to him. I mean, he got done dirty. I don't think Liara really told him what was going on either.
I mean, could he conjure things, or could he just make them look like they were conjured?
I don't know.
Wait, you mean Triangular the Amazing? Oh,
Yeah, he's
dude.
dead. Well, more
That
than dead.
sucks. Oh.
Yeah, there's no way to bring him back at all. Oh, I've seen Gabby, by the way.
Well, yeah, I saw Gabby.
When did you see Gabby?
I was with you guys for like 3 weeks.
Oh, yes, so you were. Look, a lot has happened in those 3 weeks, okay? We summoned Luna to an entire plane of existence and kind of said that it kind of all went to shit. She only wanted to destroy the entire place. Also, she can creepily spawn through Liara. It's very weird.
Huh.
We learned a lot of fucked up shit.
Right.
Been wild, boy.
You're missing out on a lot.
Yeah. But I have these really great books. And you see he's made a bed out of books.
That does not make comfy in the slightest.
It's mostly did it out of boredom.
Is that your piece as well? Reading.
Wait, was that a real question? No. No.
So the apple does fall far from the tree.
I mean, I think I inherited one habit of his, and he gives you a cheers, Lucian.
Yeah. All right.
Alcoholism.
Nah.
Elves can't be alcoholic.
Yeah, we live too long to be addicted to anything.
Anybody could be addicted to anything.
I think I've read that in a book once somewhere. All right. Are you back by any chance, Bulkhead?
Yeah, sorry.
No problem. Owen had a little question for you.
Vendor had a very
Vendor, I apologize.
yeah.
I just got
unfortunately,
used to the one, and now
I know.
I should
Hey,
stop
you killed him,
killing.
not me.
I should stop killing you guys. Yeah, make my life easier.
Yes. What is your inner peace? What makes you the calmest?
That's actually a good question.
Casimir's is the stillness and quiet right after battle. Lucian's is reading a new book on information he doesn't know about inside his own library. And then mine is sitting outside with the wind blowing.
I believe mine. When I'm in the act of making something, I'm a craftsman. That was what I was originally created to do. Whether it's building a ship, building a house, making weapons or armor, tinkering. The act of making something. It's where I feel the most at peace.
So you find peace in your profession.
It doesn't even have... Calling it a profession... is almost a misnomer. It's... You have to understand this. I am a Warforged. We are a Warforged is an artificial construct, artificial life form that is built to fulfill a certain purpose. Mine was construction. So my purpose was to make things. And so I feel at peace because it's sort of my base state, in a way.
Do all Warforges have a soul?
I am special. I was granted one, so to speak.
I'm intrigued.
Not all, obviously, the vast majority of Warforged are not sentient. But because of my own personal aptitude, I was granted a sentience core. And so I became more than just a construct that existed to serve and follow orders. I became me.
Have you ever sought your own form of peace? Because it seems like you're just doing what you're supposed to do, and you think you find peace in that.
Well, it's not that I think I find peace in it. Yes, I was made to make things, but I do still find enjoyment in it. Finding my own peace. I fell in love, started a family. That was a long time ago. Didn't exactly go how I hoped it would have.
I'm going to ask the other people in the party, and then I'll just send them a message later and ask them to give me idea what their piece is.
So, you're all barreling down towards the Thunder Peak Observatory, taking in this gorgeous environment of this very large outskirts of the swamplands that you all had just exited out of. Marshlands, if you will, instead. You see these massive ranging mountains that intertwine with the sky and create a beautiful landscape that looks as gorgeous as any picture that you've seen inside of any fine estate or establishment. As you are nearing towards this peak, you can see the most massive of them. Something about this is entertaining to look at, not only just for those that are fans of natural scenery, but also as those that appreciate Arcanum. Looking at the massive observatory built on top of it, this dome-like structure and building that stretches across for hundreds of feet in a very strange amalgamation that seems to somehow work with the peak of the mountain itself. It is an astonishing and beautiful sight to behold. And I think this is where we're calling the session this week. When we get back next week, you all get to, well, see what you can find out here. Players, thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. Hope you all had a fantastic time, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.